ceremonies and rituals, you get emotions. The reaction to your emotions is called a feeling. A feeling that lasts a long time is called a mood. But to understand this, you have to have emotional vocabulary. Emotional vocabulary starts before you are born. You cry before you are born, you laugh before you're born, you play before you're born. All of this takes place before you're born. You talk before you're born, you think before you're born, you get angry before you're born, you laugh before you're born. It doesn't happen after you emerge from your mother's uterus, which is the only time you should use that word. The only emergency you have in your life is when you emerge from your mother's uterus. That's what we call emergency. Anything else you have is a crisis. So you develop all of this before you're born. The first trimester, you develop bonding and attachment and reattachment to your mother. You're building an emotional vocabulary so you can have the emotional expense account, so you can have the emotional budget. Without emotional knowledge, you cannot move your body. No one sells anything but emotions. You went to a nutritional store called McDonald's. What is vitamin A? McDonald's doesn't sell nutrition. McDonald's sells emotions. Or else you should be more smarter than me. First time I went to McDonald's, I had to take a leak. And that's the only time I ever went there. I joined the pissed off nation called the urination. That was the only time I went there in my life. It was to take a leak. McDonald's sells emotions, and that's the thing we do not understand. To have that, you must be bonded to your mother, and your mother must be bonded to your father. Your father was pregnant with your mother and the baby. The mother's pregnant with the baby, and the baby is birthing two adults as a parent. The baby's giving birth, not the mother. That's the African way of looking at it. But we're coming from another dynamic altogether. Some people call it white supremacy, but it's not white supremacy. It's white domination, supported by the belief of white supremacy, defended by white racism. They dominate science. They dominate history. It's about white domination. They'll give up white supremacy tomorrow if it doesn't work. I work for these people, the crackosaurs, white people. So what I'm trying to say is the emotions that's giving us the problems. We're emotionally attached to food. We emotionally like the Greek shape of foods. Hot dogs stuck between two buns. You think that's accidental? Children like circles, particularly the circle around the mother's nipple. So whenever you put a circle on something, the child will like it. Mickey Mouse the rat has two circular ears. That's why they like Mickey Mouse. You start looking at those circles, and you see all these circles in children cartoons because circles remind them of the breast. To make things even more ridiculous, they had whipped cream and put a cherry nipple on top. They're not after the whipped cream, they're after the titty. You have to know how to manipulate people's emotions. And that's why they use a lot of circles with children. Emotions come from your culture. Without your culture, you have no feelings. That's why you cannot get up and dance when you hear Chinese music, because you have no feelings for Chinese music, because you have no emotions for Chinese, because you have no Chinese culture in you. Everything is a language of culture. And science is a cultural language. That's what I'm trying to say. Based on beliefs. We had no facts in European science. And I study the stuff. Every time they have a belief, they tell you, this is our belief about gravity. But we use the word theory, and you miss it. A theory is not a fact. The theory of evolution, theory of the speed of light, theory of gravity, the somatic mutation theory, the free radical theory, the ozone theory. It's all theories, which are beliefs. And you do not have to use a fact to support beliefs. Beliefs need no facts. And they're telling you, all of this is culture. It's my beliefs. It's my beliefs. And they keep saying the word theory, and you're missing it. There's very few facts in European science. You want to go to science about facts, you got to go to Africa. Other than that, you're studying beliefs. That's why scientists don't need a religion. They already got one. It's called theories. That's what we do. We do beliefs all around you and surround you with it. You chase money because money is valuable. What is value? It's an emotion. Someone told you emotionally to desire these Nikes. What is desire? Emotions. So you desire Nikes and then you go buy them. So economics is about manipulation of emotions. It has nothing to do with money whatsoever. You chasing gold and diamonds, I'm gonna get as much money as I can. Right, but you should be after value. And value is emotions. Whatever my value, I may value this because I like it, you value something else. That's our emotional response. Follow me here. Someone controls value, controls wealth. You chase the gold because it's valuable. That's emotion. You say, oh, this gold is worth $500 a pound. Well, since I control value, I say, well, buy it all. Next day, I say, gold's only worth a penny. Because I control value. He who controls value controls the world. He who controls desire puts a value on your desire, call it a Mercedes. That's emotions. You're manipulated by your emotions, and I don't want you to be attached to your emotions. Well, else you know the game. And the only way to break that attachment is make you a dysfunctional black person. To break your bond with your mother and your father, which breaks your bond with your culture. You're culturally homeless. That's why you're eating this garbage and junk food. To you, I'm eating junk food. No, you're eating white man. It's just in another form is coming at you. That's all. You're attached to white culture. You're addicted to white people. You want their Grammys, their Oscars, their degrees. You have an addiction, a codependent addiction to white people. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's the way you want to go. But I say you're crazy. I just keep it real. You're dysfunctional. No, you're crazy. You're eating white sugar. Oh, I just have an eating disorder. What's the eating disorder? Emotional problem. Okay, I'm eating white sugar. I'm crazy. Just look in the mirror and say, you crazy. You crazy. That's what you have to do. You have to practice being crazy because no skill is achieved without practice. You want to play the piano, you got to practice. You want to sing, you got to practice. And if you want to be dumb, you better practice. Get in the mirror every morning and say something dumb. You got to practice. You may slip up and say something smart and ruin your whole dumbass day. So every skill, no matter how you may think of it, you got to practice. Alcoholic has to practice. Drinking alcohol, they wouldn't be alcoholic. So that's the problem. We are trying to give information, say, hey, eat whole foods the way God made them. But first, I got to get past your addiction, your emotional problem that caused you to crave this food. You have an emotional problem because you've been emotionally damaged. To damage you, I had to damage your mother and father's relationship. That's why they sold the mother one way and the father one way in slavery. It wasn't about all of that. It was about damaging that relationship. Because if I could do that, I could damage you. Not a problem. So you're looking at food, and I'm saying don't eat white rice, don't eat white grits, and you say, oh, it's about food. No, it's about you being emotionally damaged. Even a rat won't eat white rice. If it's brown rice in a pile, they crawl over the white rice and eat the brown rice. Even a rat won't eat bleach white flour. They crawl over the bleach white flour, they eat the whole wheat flour. First, you have your culture. From your cultures, ceremonies, and rituals, you get emotions. Your reaction to your emotions is called a feeling. A feeling that lasts a long time is